Yeah, look, I think there's when you look back and dissect a competition, um, you know, at this stage of the competition, when you're 5-1, there's usually multiple things that are not quite right. And I think at times it can be difficult to put that right. You're looking for quick fixes sometimes, and sometimes that always doesn't always work. So, look, I think in this format and the nature of some of the games on flat pitches, there's no denying that when you drop multiple catches in games, it hurts you, and that's happened for us. And key moments when we're dropping catches so many times that the next ball goes for 4 or 6 and the momentum of the game swings. So, that's just one part of it. And, I think there's been passages of play with both bat and ball where we haven't quite fired, and, the good teams capitalise on that. Yeah, look, I think you're very, very quick to, we've got to remember that last year we were very close to winning the final. So I don't think something's broken overnight. I think you asked the question of has the squad gelled. I think the squad that was put together was a strong squad, perhaps not performed quite as well as we like. And if you probably look to compare it to last year, um, you know, there's been a lot more chopping and changing this year, and whether that's because people haven't performed, or like I touched on before, you're trying to find a very quick fix to get the results you're looking for. I don't know, but there's certainly a degree of chopping and changing that can unsettle the squad. Yeah, absolutely. I think a professional sport, the number of times that particularly in these type of competitions, you build momentum at the right time. I think if you look at our competition last year, we pretty much went all the way through without winning a game, then had a break at the end because we got straight to the final, and we end up losing the final, and you lose a bit of momentum. So there's certainly a degree of hope and belief that actually if we can click just at the right time, build some momentum at the back end, we might just sneak in, and who knows what can happen. Yeah, I love playing here. I touched in an interview before the different grounds and the different conditions that you face in those different grounds, and we've seen this year with the competition being a little bit later, the conditions are slightly different again. So that presents a great challenge, and I think the people here. I think are humble, and want to do anything to help. They're very welcoming, and want to do anything to help you. So, it's a great place to come. And over the seasons that I've been at Multan, I've really enjoyed my time with them.
Sultans have always been one of the most consistent teams in the PSL. You guys have played four finals in the last 5 seasons. So, how difficult does it get for a champion side like Multan to have a season like this? And how much does it hurt the morale in the squad, in
Yeah,
the dressing room?
yeah. Do you know what? It's probably the first year that they've faced this challenge, um, and I think naturally it requires a different set of skills. I think when we've been doing well over the past few years, you have a pretty settled side. You might make the odd change here and there, and the balance of the side stayed fairly consistent unless there's been real reason to change that. And when you're not getting the results, you're probably looking for answers, as you do naturally in a short competition where you need to get results. So there's no denying. I think everyone's feeling it, and it's been a challenge. I think no one wants to be sat at the bottom of the table, particularly with the success that Multan have had over the years. There's a great expectation every time Multan start the PSL.